And hello everyone, welcome back to another Let's Play. This is Myrokos, and today I will be, after a little bit of a delay, and focusing on Hildebrand and trying to do more of the extraneous stuff that comes with Post-ARR. I've decided to just get back to business with the MSQ and see how much farther I can get this time around. I've got a feeling, based off of where the MSQ story has been going, that this is coming up to some sort of a head. Let's see what happens. So, first off, let's talk to Minfilia. Administrative decision. Minfilia seems loath to put you to further trouble so soon after your last great exertion. Well, if she knows about Hildebrand, oh dear. I dare say that was certainly exerting. You must be weary, Myrokos, and now may very well be your only chance to... Antecedent. It's Tataro, what do you want? Hi. A messenger from Ulda arrived with a missive for you. The royal seal. Curious indeed. Ah, an invitation. Oh, don't tell me we need to get more earrings. On behalf of the Council of the Eorzean Alliance, Her Royal Majesty, Nanamo Ulnamo, invites the Scions of the Seventh Dawn to attend a feast at the Royal Palace of Ulda, in honor of Ishgard's recent victory. It would seem we are to be recognized for our part in lifting the siege. You for your valiant efforts as commander of the adventurers contingent, and the Archons for their earnest attempts to rouse the city-states. Truly, I find it strange that the Alliance leaders should think themselves deserving of a place at such a celebration. All three refused to deploy their standing armies, preferring to send hastily assembled companies of sellswords, many of whom perished ere the siege began. Are they truly so brazen as to seek to share in the glory of your triumph? Well, they are egotistical. But that's part of politics for you. But mayhap they simply seek a pretext to meet with the Ishgardians while the mood is yet jubilant. There's your political reason. Such an occasion would present a fine opportunity to press for Ishgard's return to the Eorzean Alliance. We have scarce had time to mourn Moonbreda, and I, for one, am in no mood to carouse. But I suppose we must put away our grief for the good of the realm. Though you were promised rest, I fear I must insist that you also attend. It would be a strange celebration indeed if the victorious hero were not present. Pray content yourself with the thought that such occasions may bring about momentous change, and this without recourse to bloodshed. Tataro, if you would do me the favor of contacting the rest of the Scions. Of course, Antecedent. And please let me know if there's anything else I can do. She's up to something. Curious. I have never known Tataru to sigh at such requests. Could aught be amiss? Well, the last time I saw her, she was juggling and thinking she could change careers. Tataru is troubled, I am certain of it. Would you mind speaking with her? I fear any concern I show will be met with stoic denial. Who's not here? Oh, everyone's back. Okay. Talk to people. Have you witnessed the scene over yonder? Such is the fate of he who would toy with women's hearts. Let us see how Thancred's silver tongue wags his way out of this one. Oh no, Thancred, what did you do? In Doma, fidelity is a highly prized virtue. Perhaps it is a difference in culture, but this situation lies outside my comprehension. Oh dear. Do we not have more pressing matters to attend to? Yeah, we probably do. A primal shackles its faithful with bonds of eternal devotion, but I fear the power Thancred wields over his admirers is rather more fickle. Especially when he realizes she is not the sole object of his affection. Oh gods, make it stop. My sides are about to burst. Oh dear. Why don't we leave these to their squabbling? You'd best watch your tongue. Well, I'm the one who procured the rarest opal. The rarest of ores. Okay, ores. Enough. Ladies, please, this is no way to... Oh, hello, Myrokos. Yeah, what's going on here? I was just, entertaining some friends. Haha. Oh, God. Oh, my. So you got an Elzen lady, two here ladies, and a Mikote lady, all squabbling. And a fifth one, a second Mikote lady who's just saying, let's leave them to their squabbles and go about it. Oh dear. In the meantime, Tataru is nowhere to be seen. Tataru is conspicuous by her absence. Tataru? I believe she just stepped outside. Now that I think on it, she did seem rather preoccupied. I swear, if she's juggling outside, it's going to get ridiculous. Well, no sign of her here. Oh, there she is. And there's the heart. la 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 dee da la dee da. Child's joy will always brighten your day. I'll show you a smile if you're happy to think. That's so right. Tara has been teaching traditional Olda climbing. Children of Olda seem to spend an awful lot of time without money. Oh, Myrokos, it's you. I didn't mean to worry anyone. It's nothing, really. Well, it's not nothing exactly, but it feels like nothing compared to the towering trials you and the others face every day. And that's why I should probably talk to Minfilia before things get any worse. Ah, you always know what to say. I'm glad we had this little chat. There she goes again. And they're still laughing. My mind is made up. Made up on what? Are you leaving? Yes, Tataru? You have my undivided attention. I've been hesitant to broach the subject, but with all the recent excitement, but Myrokos made me realize that there's no time like the present, and time is what I'm here to ask you for. I am not sure I understand. If you wish to be excused from your duties for a time, then you have certainly earned the rest. But I suspect that lying abed is far from your intent. You know me too well, antecedent. There is, in fact, something I've been wanting to try my hand at. Along with the adventurers and the Crystal Braves, the Scions are constantly being thrown into dangerous battles and deadly predicaments. Even Hori, Boulder, and Coltonay have been promoted from guard duty to fill our need for competent warriors. And so it seems only right that I, too, should acquire the power to defend myself. Oh dear. And others, more importantly. When I return, I shall be both your receptionist and your bodyguard. Wait, Tataru's joining the Adventurers Guild? Or at least one of the job guilds. Whoa, hey! That's the first time I've almost been knocked to the ground by a Lalafell. I've never seen Miss Tataru so determined. Has aught befell, with which I might help antecedent? Not at present, thank you. Was there something you would ask of me? Oh yes, pray excuse my distraction. An adventurer who wants to join us for escort duty was injured while out on patrol, and I fear we cannot properly defend the scholars entrusted to our protection without the aid of at least one more guard. Therefore, I humbly request that another adventurer of the capable kind, of course, be assigned to our party. Very well, I shall consider the potential candidates and provide you with a replacement as soon as I am able. My thanks, antecedent. I take my leave. Okay. two MSQ quests. Unexpected ambition. An unexpected ambition. Minfilia is at a loss for words. The power to defend oneself. Tataru has ever been full of surprises. Now that I think on it, I do recall Urianger mentioning that she had developed an interest in Arcanima. Mayhap she hopes to gain admittance to the Arcanists Guild in Limsa Lamensa. Yes, that will be the way of it. Would you be so kind as to journey to the guild and see that all is well? It is doubtless unwarranted, but surely I am not alone in my concern for her safety. Okay. I'll get that last one in a bit. Now let's see what Tataru is up to. You don't suppose I should join the Arcanist Guild? That would mean Tataru and I would be together, and able to at least allow me to keep an eye on her. No sign of her here, but check with the receptionist. Welcome to the Arcanists Guild. It is here that we research and develop the field of Arcanima. Arcanima is the science of employing arcane geometries and intricate patterns that map the unlocked mysteries of existence to draw forth and manipulate the body's etheric energies. If you prefer an arcane art built on structured thought and precise reasoning, then your discerning intellect may find a home here at our guild. Might you consider enrolling yourself as an initiate? Yeah, why not? Aha, just as I predicted. Before we proceed any further, however, let us first feed your appetite for knowledge, with a morsel of guild history. The roots of Arcanima can be traced back to the esoteric calculations practiced by the people of the South Sea Isles. It was these island folk that first discovered the method to express natural phenomena in mathematical terms. Building on this practice, the existence of mathematical formulae were further developed into arcane geometries, precise patterns that allowed a practitioner to weave ether into specific magical effects. The mages who invoked this new form of magic became known as Arcanists, and the School of Arcanima was born. But many such mages, wishing to expand their understanding of the world, took to the seas aboard trading vessels. Upon their arrival to Limsa Lamensa, Arcanists found themselves welcomed into the academic elite and soon secured positions in the realms of governance and council. The knowledge of an Arcanist, however, is traditionally passed on from master to chosen disciple. As such, Admiral Merlweb, counting several wielders of Arcanima among her personal staff, became concerned that this exclusionary practice would lead to the eventual extinction of the art. So, at the Admiral's express orders, an official Arcanists Guild was established, and funding was provided for research and training. The complex and demanding nature of Arcanima, however, remains the greatest threat to its own future. If you invite such cerebral challenges, then you have but to reaffirm your commitment to joining our guild. Well, have you decided to enroll in our guild, or are you now intimidated by the thought of excessive thinking? The way of the Arcanist. Miri wishes you to reaffirm your desire to join the Arcanist Guild. Your sound judgment is to be commended. Now, standard practice dictates that I introduce you to our guild master that you might convey your intentions in person. Due to the extraordinary circumstances, however, he is unreachable at present. Instead, you may speak with Mistress Thuberbein. She has shouldered full responsibility for the guild's leadership in the interim. You'll find her just over there by the bookshelves. You needn't be shy, though her mind is sharp and critical. Her manner is always most welcoming. Okay, so before I go any further, let's go into gear sets. And another one. Up. Up. Okay, so this gear set. Okay. Okay, let me just, set to, let's call this, generic. So that's all item number 1, it's weapon. Yes, I'm Thuberheim. Greetings and welcome to the Arcanist Guild. As Miri has doubtless explained to you, I am serving as acting guild master until our wayward leader deigns to return. I assume our capable receptionist also spoke of our art's origin. She did. Allow me then to expound upon its nature. Arcanima taps into the living energies of ether. The evidence of this is represented most aptly, perhaps by our ability to manifest the arcane entity Carbuncle and the manner of magic which this ethereal ally employs at our command. The core of the discipline, however, is found in the pursuit of definitive solutions to any potential quandary. Even on the field of battle, nay, especially on the field of battle, this principle takes precedence. If one wishes to make certain the question of victory, then one must apply the most effective strategy. An Arcanist is measured by his ability to calmly analyze the situation from moment to moment and respond with the most appropriate spells at hand. The study of Arcanima will test your mental faculties to the point of perplexity. Are you prepared to reason your way through predicament after predicament? Are you prepared to reason? Yes. An unambiguous response, the kind I most prefer. Let us now see if the clarity of your words is matched by the sharpness of your mind. Here, take this grimoire in hand. We shall next judge your aptitude for our discipline. Okay. So, that, let's back another one. That. I had named this right, but that. Okay. Now I could quit. Okay, so my first grimoire, acting from Guildmaster Kuberheim, wishes to judge your aptitude for Arcana. It's a hefty tome, is it not? I promise you, a grimoire's weight becomes a comforting anchor amidst the shifting seas of battle, a fact you will soon discover. In Lower Lonosha, you will find, among others, 3 species of pests: wharf rats, little ladybugs, and orelei. I ask that you employ your fledgling skill in Arcanima to eradicate 3 of each type of creature. Leave the city through the Tempest Gate, and you will soon encounter the potential targets in abundance. As long as you remain focused, I do not foresee these opponents causing you body abilities undue difficulty. Once you return from completing this preliminary trial, I will welcome you as an official member of the Arcanist Guild. May your judgment remain swift and clear. Up there. I can get rid of these because I have access to them. And the droids have you go looking for someone and then totally get sidetracked. Whatever. So that's here, so what I want is to go to map. To Lower Lonosha. Okay. The Tempest Gates. There we go. Pets, you can now summon a pet to do your bidding. You only have access to one pet for now, but there will be opportunities to acquire many more as you continue your adventures, blah blah blah. Pet bar. Guard command orders your pet to go faster, refraining from attacking until you attack or are attacked. The steady command orders okay, so away. Stay. Don't have access to guard, how interesting. The order has already been given. Let's send this out, let us... Let's see what happened. Our uncle is doing nothing. Hey. Okay. I know it's supposed to be a carbuncle's tail, but it does kind of look like the carbuncle is breaking wind, let's just say. And unfortunately, once you see that, there's no unseen. I did not hate that. Yeah. I see the creatures beyond the city walls pose to you little threat. It is with great pleasure then that I formally recognize your initiation into the guild. From this day forth, may you proudly bear the title of Archivist. Oh yay, now Tatar and I can go on adventures. I suggest you continue your forays into the wilderness and keep the pages of your venom burning. There is no finer teacher than the partial mistress of experience. And when you feel you can command Carbuncle as easily as you might move homes, return to me for further instruction. I will be waiting. The next Arcanist quest will be available from Region Level 5. Fortunately, I am Level 6. What's in the box? Acting Guildmaster Thuberheim wishes to assess the improvement of your Arcanists. Ah, Myrokos, isn't it? Are you eating well? An empty stomach distracts the mind and leads to hurried judgment. I must often remind my Arcanists to take meals, and so ensconced do they become in their studies. Speaking of such, have you been practicing your tactics with Carbuncle? I believe it is time to assess the improvement of your skills. As with your previous trial, I would have you defeat foes in Lower Lenosha, 3 wild dodos and 3 tiny mandragoras to be precise. Watch carefully the behavior of your opponents, formulate an effective strategy, and utilize your arcane entity to its fullest potential. I expect you back in time for breakfast. Even though it is in the afternoon, but whatever. Surely this won't take all day. All night. Probably shouldn't attack the level 50 bat in this instance. Ooh. this. Guildmaster, I killed those six creatures. I still have no idea what the box has to do with that. Welcome back, Myrokos. It appears your coordination with Carbuncle is progressing at a satisfactory pace. Shall we test your growing acumen with more practical examination? Our work at Mailvan's Gate requires us to inspect and record the contents of incoming cargo. To simulate such a task, I have had several crates transported to Cliff, South, and Zephyr. I want you to examine those crates, then return the inspected cargo here to me. You would be surprised at the depths to which some merchants will sink to deter customs agents from performing thorough investigations, false bottoms, rotting foodstuffs, flesh-eating biochem. I suggest you be prepared for any eventuality. There are people bringing in shipments who have, creatures that attack people. That seems weird. Just down here. Hey! Oop, purple smoke. This always means trouble. I am not a threat. Pray ignore my presence for the present and allow me a moment to cogitate. Okay. The reaction to my sudden appearance was within expected parameters, but I must admit I did not expect so proficient a performance against the enemies set against you. Yet effective though your tactics were, I spied much room for improvement. As I watched you battle the wheels of my mind whirled into motion, as they are wont to do, inventing other possible strategies you might have employed. Let's see, taking into account your current ability, factoring in the etheric constant, multiplying by the number of opponents, then applying your tactics to other potentials and combat scenarios. Yeah. My calculations indicate failure upon encountering threat level 9,785. Well, we'll have to see what we can do about that. Though the opportune window to do so has passed, I would nevertheless introduce myself. I am Kalia, a Milvan's Gate Assessor. Acting Guildmaster Thuberheim elected me to oversee your training and provide any necessary guidance and instruction in the field of Arcana. From what I have observed thus far, you have an admirable grasp of the fundamentals. I do, however, wish to confirm one small detail. Regarding your choice of arcane geometries, what factor most influences your actions during battle? Desire to outwit an enemy, potential for amusement, I simply do what feels right. Outwit an enemy. Aha! Just as I predicted. And now I have the final element needed to perform another calculation. The probability of you becoming an Arcanist of note is 90%, give or take 0.5%. Yes, the certainty is quite high. After all, I only know of one other practitioner who responded to my question in the same manner. It was the man who bestowed upon me this grimoire, the Guildmaster himself. That thing looks like it's seen better days. While our inscrutable leader is, as I'm sure you've heard, on an indefinite leave of absence, he did leave us with his most notorious saying to date. Strategy is a tool used to manipulate one's situation into the desired reality. No matter how gifted you and I might be, however, the instantaneous manipulation of reality that might cause us to suddenly become mighty arcanists is beyond our present abilities. Discipline and experience is the finest strategy in this case. I suggest you continue to focus on refining your aptitude with Carbon. Mastery with an arcane entity will greatly improve your success as a wielder of Arcanum. Here ends your lesson for today. Pray return to the guild. I believe Mistress Thuberheim is awaiting some inspected cargo. And what of myself? I'm off to the fields, of course. The tactics I reasoned out earlier might be attempted in real-life scenarios. Theory is all well and good, but there is no substitute for actual combat. We will meet again soon. Now, if I'm doing all this running around, where's Tatara? You don't think she's not at the Arcanist Guild? Oh. Ah, Myrokos, you have returned with the cargo. Practice crate, a wooden cargo crate used by Neilvan's Gate to train nurses. Yes, everything seems to be in order. Relatively clear of blood and other gore. That can be something of a problem in our profession. You understand? I also had word from Kalia regarding your performance. She seemed eager to continue your training. An odd lass, I'll admit, but the guild can boast no finer mind for tactics. You would do well to heed the instruction she offers, particularly that which touches on the diligent approach to our art. Did you perhaps notice the battered tone Kalia carries? That initiate's grimoire has served her from the day she entered the guild. I thought it looked a little old. She has her reasons, but it's admittedly strange to see it kept all the way to her present position as Foreseer. I fear such an intense focus on Arcanima has led her to overlook other important aspects of life. As our master strategist guides your Arcanist training, I hope that you might return the favor and help to broaden her perspective somewhat. But enough of such matters for the moment. You have done well this day, Myrokos. Continue your practice with Carbuncle as Kalia bid. I will be here when the time comes for your next lesson. Already have that. That right now. Bone ring. Weathered ring. Probably just take the gal. Has she already gone downstairs? Enthusiasm is well and good, but in excess, I pray enables the wrong with what? Oh, she is here. Myrokos, what are you doing here? Well, I just joined the Arcanist Guild. And also Minfilia was worried about you. I didn't mean for her to worry. That's the last thing we wanted. Putting an end to such worries is precisely the reason I'm here. Don't you see? I, Taru, shall become a great and powerful Arcanist. And now, at Mistress Thubergine's behest, I must go and complete a special training exercise. Until we meet again, keep your voice low lest you disturb the summons. Okay, I guess we'll whisper. Now we gotta speak with the guildmaster and see if we can figure out what the heck is going on with the Tatar. Yes, how may I assist you, Myrokos? Yeah, I was just seeing what the heck was up with the Tatars. So you are acquainted with our newest member. Mayhap you have already noticed, but I fear young Tataru's potential is somewhat lacking. Nevertheless, she would not be denied and goes now to undertake her first trial as a simulated inspection of 3 crates. I think I just did that. But okay. A simple task, some might say, but one all Arcanists are expected to complete. A thought occurs to me. Why not assist Tataru with her training? Given your relationship with the girl and your growing understanding of Arcana, you may prove a great help to her. Her trial will be conducted at the cliffs south of the Zephyr Gate. You need only observe at a distance. Huh. Okay, so I get to do what Kalia just did to me. Okay. This should be interesting. Confession. What is ocean fishing? Yep. Go back and do what I already did. Okay. No, I'll just fly down. Yep, 3 crates. Azure Seas to Pirate's Port, where she meets her shining jewel. Or to bring the smuggler's plan to naught, keep the lass whom none could fool. Beat him with a backdraft, gut him with a gust, deck him with a downburst, go, carbuncle, go. Not sure that last line rhymes, but okay. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Are those crates I spy? Ah, and this must be the true test. But we are ready for them, aren't we, Carbuncle? Okay. And what? Carbuncle? Did she seriously tell it to go away, except where mine just dissolves it back into nothing, hers actually ran off? Oh dear. Uh-oh. Don't tell me you didn't do the attack things before you... Did she not do the quest for attacking various critters? To use ruin. Oh dear. This is not good. Okay. Let's see what's happened. I should have known you'd come. You needn't say a word, your face says it all. I know you bore witness to my shame. Betrayed by my own carbuncle. and left at the mercy of wild beasts. I, I must accept the truth. I'll never be a warrior like you or the others. I will inform Mistress Thurbergheim of my intention to withdraw from the guild. Arcanima, like so much else, is beyond me. Well, I wouldn't be too sure you were able to summon Carbuncle, and you didn't dismiss it. You just stood there, you didn't try Ruin. Did you at least try to attack? Oh, don't cry, Tataru. You could summon, at the very least. I mean, that's promise. I mean, look at me. I can summon my Carbuncle. I can tell it to go away. When I tell it to go away, like you did, it should do that. It doesn't just run off. Oh well. Back so soon. How fared our fledgling Arcanist? She summoned Carbuncle, did not use Ruin, and her Carbuncle literally ran off. That's about it. Abysmally, Mistress Thurbergheim. Abysmally, as Myrokos will testify. I was wrong to become an Arcanist. Wrong as usual. I am completely and utterly unqualified, and I sincerely apologize for wasting your time. Tataru, if that were true, I would not have permitted you to join in the first place. We must all come to accept our limitations, lest our ambitions lead us astray. However, we must not lose sight of our strengths in the process. For example, your exceptional skill with numbers helped you to gain a solid grasp of the fundamentals of Arcanima. Were it not so, you would have struggled to even to summon Carbuncle to your side. In my opinion, the Scions are truly fortunate to have such a capable and good-natured receptionist in their service. Would you not agree? Yeah, she's good. You are too kind, Mistress Thurbergheim. Though, I could not overcome this challenge, I shall take your words to heart and try not to be disturbed. Ancient ways, timeless wants. Tataru is considering her next course of action and how you might aid her in it. As fetching as these garments are, I fear I shall never don them again. Well, never say never. You were able to summon Carbuncle, you just need to learn how to use Ruin. She has potential, doesn't she? But I can't go back to the Rising Stones without something to show for my time away. Wait, I know what I can do. That is, if you don't mind accompanying me for a little longer. Wonderful. Then to Costa del Sol we go. It's a bit of a gamble, but I'm confident it will pay off. Wait. You're going to Costa del Sol when you're level 1? As an Arcanist? Like, the ferry won't let you go until you're, what, at least level 30? Like, it's only 40 gil, but they won't let her on the boat. Or at least they shouldn't. Yes, this is it. This is where the man at the Drowning Wench told me to look. There is a certain variety of clam which can be harvested this time of year in the Bloodshore, one which produces the most marvelous pearls. However, these clams are also coveted by certain wild creatures, and since I fared rather poorly in battle last time, let us be off. I mean, seriously, you just need to learn how to use Ruin, and only pick one target at a time. She thinks too little of herself. What fortune, I have already found one. Would you be so kind as to keep watch while I work? This should only take a moment. Open up, you little gah! This is proving more difficult than I thought. Well fought, Myrokos, well fought. I knew I was right to ask you to come. As for me, I have a prize. I have my prize, a bounty of blood pearls. So named for their reddish hue, they were treasured as wards against dark magics in ancient times. I thought I might make charms for everyone so that no matter where they go, they will always come home. So she's becoming a goldsmith. She should have asked me about goldsmithing. I am a member of the Goldsmiths Guild. It's sort of the power to defend myself and other people in a way. Right, well, I mustn't keep Flamine waiting. There's work to be done and lots of it. We're to secure provisions for the scions in the Leminson markets. She may have an eye for quality, but I have a nose for bargains. Will you be heading back to the Rising Stones? If so, pray convey my apologies to the antecedent and tell her that she needn't worry about it. Okay. Farewell, Myrokos, and thank you for everything. That sounded rather final, didn't it? How about until we meet again? What is up with that smile? That looked rather ominous. Pray return to the Rising Stones. But her carbuncle didn't just disappear back into the ether when it was dismissed. It just turned and ran. So it's technically still out there somewhere, I think. Welcome home, Myrokos. I gather you found Tataru and Musa Laminsa? Yep. My, it sounds as though she had quite an adventure. And while it did not end as she had hoped, I suspected that it will prove to be a valuable experience. I dare say she could have managed without our intervention. Even so, I appreciate you indulging my request. Where we are needed. Amphilia is eyeing you with a mixture of regret and desperation. I wonder, do you perchance recall the commitment I made to furnish Hori Boulder with a capable adventurer? Yeah. Oh, don't tell me I'm the third. You're sending your primal slayer. Trivial task. Okay. Well, I'm sorry to say that I have as yet been unable to do so. Now, I realize that you are rather more than a capable adventurer, and that escort duty is frankly beneath a man of your talents, but I have no one else to turn to at present. Might you be willing to forego rest and assist us in this matter? Okay. Generous to a fault. I thank you, Myrokos. Now, it seems only fair that I explain the import of the task in question. For some time, our order has employed a handful of scholars to travel around Eorzea, taking etheric readings that we might better understand the impact of primal summonings. Naturally, it behooves us to ensure our employees' safety, and so we ask the adventurers in our service to serve as escorts. Rory Boulder and Coltonay were to act as two such escorts, as was a third adventurer. Alas, due to injury, said adventurer is not presently fit for duty, hence may need to impose upon your goodwill. You truly are a pillar of strength, Myrokos. I also just go wherever the quest log tells me. Hoary Boulder will share with you the details of your task. He should be waiting for you outside. Be safe. Okay. I wonder if anything's changed here in headquarters. Oh, everyone's gone. And Flamine and Totaro are in some inside, at least I know where they are. I had no idea that you would be assisting us personally, Myrokos. My sincerest apologies for dragging you into our affairs. Ah, Myrokos, is it true that you agreed to lend us a hand? Yep. Huzzah! What did I tell you, Coltonay? Our misfortune is become a blessing, an opportunity to serve alongside the warrior of light himself. Need I remind you that we have 3 scholars to escort, each of whom will take a different route? True, but our mission is the same. Separated by moms we may be, but in spirit we shall be together. If such thoughts bring you joy, you are welcome to thank them. 2 more practical concerns, Myrokos. We would have you attend to the scholar charged with surveying the South Shroud. He is waiting at Camp Tranquil as we speak. All you need do is follow the man. He will determine the most appropriate locations to take his readings. In spirit, Myrokos, in spirit, we shall be together every step of the way. Hoary Boulder's nothing but a bundle of energy, isn't he? So isn't there a dungeon in the South Shroud? Yeah, Lost City Random Walk. Do I have that? Here's Palace, Castle. Ooh, I do not have. Oh no, wait, I have Amdapor Keep. I do not have Lost City of Amdapor. So, to be a carpenter illusionist, and here is... one night in Amdapur, I thought there was a quest on for that. Brother Sumi Yan would like a word on behalf of a most illustrious client. It is well that you are here, Myrokos. Some burdens are too heavy to bear even for those so favored to abide. Know that you were chosen as much for your true heart as your skill. I speak to you in the name of the three seed seers. The eldest, Kani Sena, you will already know as the guardian of our family. Two siblings has she. It is the younger of the pair, Arun Sena, who hears the voice of the elementals with greatest clarity, and what he has heard lately is troubling indeed. These dark strings we have traced to the lost city of Amdapur in the South Valley. Like, how can a city be lost if they know where it is? The city once throve in the fullness of magic during the Fifth Astral Era, but it was sealed in the wake of its demise. Alas, the Twelveswood has been out of balance since the calamity, so riotous has its aspect become that the seal was severely weakened. When this happened, the forest surrounding the city began to wither and die. We would enjoin you to investigate the cause. Now, I must confess that this is a task for the Toy Matter, normally, but we do not live in normal times in Myrokos. The company is spread thin, and you are stout with success. Will you not assist? Of course I will. It is well that you were sent, for the need is great. Go now to Seed Seer Rhea Osana at Camp Tranquil and listen well to what she says of her brother's divination. See, this is the Conjurer's Guild. Is it something worth joining? Okay, get Conjurer is a healing profession. I haven't unlocked a healer yet. Is it worth doing? Well met, adventurer. You are come to Stelglade Fane, home of the Conjurer's Guild. We conjurers harness the powers of earth, wind, and water that abound in nature, and thereby weave spells of healing and protection. Ever do we seek noble souls to initiate into our mysteries? Might you be such a soul, come to join the guild? Yes. Then allow me to provide you with an overview of what it is to be a conjurer. Conjuring is the art of healing and purification. Its practitioners harness the powers of nature that they might bring about change in the form of spells. Primitive magic, such as that once wrought by individuals known as mages, meaning those with the ability to manipulate ether, has existed since the dawn of time. It was not until some 5 centuries ago that Conjury emerged from this shapeless agglomeration of spells and charms, an event which led to the founding of Gridania. In those dark days, the elementals would not suffer man's presence in the Twelveswood, forcing our forebears to make their homes beneath the earth in the subterranean city of Gelmora. Oh, so that's what the 1,000 Miles of Totorak was. Or at least part of. But their desire to settle in the Twelveswood continued to burn fiercely. Time and again, they sought to curry the elementals' favor. Unlike men and other creatures bound in temples of flesh, the elementals are beings of pure ether. Recognizing this, the mages of Eld reasoned that their talent for etheric manipulation might allow them to commune with these theretofore enigmatic entities. It took 5 long decades, but our forebears finally succeeded. The reward, the elementals' permission to dwell in the Twelveswood. So it was that the nation of Gridania was born. Since that time, the elementals have taught us to live as one with nature, speaking to all Gridanians through the hearers, those mages who are able to commune with them. And for their intimacy with the elementals, the hearers would go on to attain greater mastery over the forces of nature. Thus did they conceive the art of conjuring. And that, my most attentive listener, is a brief history of conjuring. If you have a mind to walk our path, I wholeheartedly recommend you join our guild. It would be my pleasure to explain the initiation process to you. Please speak with me again when you are ready. Is your mind made up? Are you ready to join the Conjurers Guild? Yep. That is well. I shall introduce you to our guild master, Brother Isumi Yan. Brother Isumi presides over the Conjurers Guild, even as he serves the nation as a hearer. You will find him in the meditation area within. Go to him and make known your desire to join. Greetings, adventurer. I am told you wish to become a conjurer of Stilglade fame. I am Brother Isumi Yan, master of this guild. Before you are formally accepted into our ranks, I would impart to you the principles of conjuring. Pray attend me well. Conjuring is an arcane art that takes life in the living for its domain. Its primary purpose is the solving of hurts and the granting of protection. Adventurers such as yourself oft stand upon the front lines of battle. Owing to this, you are like to find yourself in many situations wherein a capacity for healing would be advantageous. Mind you, there is more to conjuring than that. By harnessing the power of earth, wind, and water, conjurers are also capable of weaving spells that wreak havoc. In terms of sheer destructive power, conjuring may pale in comparison to thaumaturgy. I am a black mage after all, so I know about black magic, but its capacity to defend one against aggression more than compensates for this relative shortcoming. In mastering healing and purification, not only will you be able to mend wounds and purge afflictions, you will also be able to breathe life back into the fallen. More than simply healers, yet not true dealers of destruction, conjurers realize their full potential when they employ their powers in support of others. This, my dear adventurer, is what it means to be one of us. Mayhap that was too much to grasp upon a single hearing. But worry not, for the meaning of my words will become clear to you in due time. You will come to understand that conjuring is not the sole province of the conjurer. Should you wish to walk our path, I must needs ask you solemnly to embrace nature, to heed the will of the elementals and the Twelveswood alike. Can you make this vow? Do you vow to embrace nature? Sure. I knew your answer ere your lips had parted, yet I am no less pleased to hear it. By the power vested in me, I hereby name you a member of the Conjurers Guild. If you would be so kind as to lend me your hunting log, I shall add to it the names of such creatures as would pose a suitable challenge to a conjurer. And to mark this momentous occasion, I present to you this key. Though it may be old and weathered, it will serve you well as you take your first steps upon the path of the conjurer. Take up your cane, Myrokos, and present yourself to me. I would assign you your first task as a conjurer of the stone. I'll get back to this in a little bit. It's starting to get late, and I still have a couple people to speak with. So without further ado, let's see, it's the South Shroud, Camp Train. You were about that cursed pile of rocks they call the lost city of Amdapor, I assume? I am Rhea Sana, sister to the elder seeds here. Brother Sumiyan hasn't told you much, has he? Discretion is the better part of his valor. Well, aside from Amdapor Keep, the city is all that remains of an ancient magical civilization from the 5th Astral Era. No records survive of how the city met its end, but the elementals tell us all was undone by what the Great One calls an unclean presence. I fear that what my brother senses is this very thing, satedness drained away after so many centuries. If it hungers for another city to slake its thirst on, I'll take it from here, sister. There you are, brother. Why must you dawdle so and leave the tedious explanations to me? Now convey all you have felt to this artful adventure. My sister paints me as a bumbling rustic, but I assure you I am nothing of the sort. I'm simply attuned to something greater. Which brings us to that darkness stirring in Amdapor behind the barrier. Something has kindled there, and daily it grows, and how distraught the elementals are. I've not seen the like of it. They show me what feels like awakening and nightmares. I fear this calls for a more prosaic sensing than that of my gift. Some disaster slouches towards us. Might you discover the source of these dark visions and nip it in the bud? You are our best hope, Myrokos. Surely you can find the will to journey to Amdapor. You shall find a wood whaler by the name of Alphine, keeping vigil at the barrier. And don't worry about returning here to tell us of your findings. The elementals will doubtless keep us surprised, but enough talk. Good luck. Okay. Well, first things first, I do have this duty to the scions that I have to fulfill, and I have kind of delayed long enough. Oh, good heavens, you're wearing, what, a level 5 garb? You're nowhere near equipped for this zone. At last, the Scions man deigns to grace me with his presence. Well, I kind of got sidetracked accepting jobs, and somebody just asked me to run into the city somewhere in this zone, so yeah. Pity that we have no time for pleasantries. Our first destination is Isamhar. Come, we are late enough as it is. And of course it's foggy. Of course it's foggy. And of course it becomes fairer still, okay? More ruins. Okay. Yes, this location should suffice. Once I finish calibrating my instruments, I will require but a moment to take the necessary measurements. I trust I need not explain that my work is suffering no interruption. Then please stand at an appropriate distance and keep watch for wild beasts. I see we have both completed our respective tasks. A satisfactory outcome, though if I could make one suggestion, you might try to dispatch your foes more quietly in the future. Okay, in the future, you should try dispatching foes yourself. See how quiet it is. I do not like to pick fault, but I really must be allowed to concentrate. Now then, Snake Malta waits, shall we? Right about here, yes. As before, I would ask that you keep an eye out for dangerous beasts as I work. This guy. Fascinating. These readings are not at all what I expected. Though perhaps that should come as no surprise. I am not given to superstition, but there is a queer, almost blasphemous air about. Blasphemous. Are you Ishgardian? Because I don't think heretics exist in the South Shroud. Let us quit this place and return to Roots Lake. We have one more site to survey. The Seed Seers have sent word of your coming. You are bold indeed to willingly glimpse into the darkness. The lost city festers more and more by the day, and they say you're to lance the boil, eh? Yep. Beyond this gate lies a land out of balance, its earth aspect sapped by the calamity. You had best be prepared before proceeding further. Rot and wrong, that's what you'll see. Creatures run mad, tormented by hooked burrs that clutch and burrow. Alright. Ahem. Well, good luck with that. No doubt you'll prevail, being favored of the Seed Seers and all. Fight well. Thank you. Okay, do we want to do the dungeon and just leave this guy to stand here? Or what? Might as well humor him. As before, my guardian, pray leave me to my task and ensure our safety. This data should prove invaluable to... Ye gods, what is that statue? Did you slaughter a creep of adamantoses while my back was turned? No, I slaughtered a bunch of ghouls. Quickly now, to Camp Tranquil. I will not have my clothing reeking of blood and offal. This guy. You chose to paddle in the Icar a while longer, I take it. No matter. I took advantage of my unexpected privacy and performed a cursory analysis of my data. It would appear that there has been a measurable decrease in Eorzea's ambient ether concentrations since the calamity. However, this data is far from conclusive. We must take additional measurements to confirm my assessment. I thought I was done with you. The least among us. Who better to serve the science of the seventh dawn than a humble scholar and his faithful assistant? Oh no, I'm not an assistant. No. It's a spirit bomb potion. Booster. For one elegant solution. For our next survey, I would have you escort me to Earth's spot. The ambient ether concentrations there are so high that crystalline structures form spontaneously, consequently anomalous fluctuations should be much easier to detect. Brilliant, yes? No? Don't bother answering. That was rhetorical. Now come along. Oh, this guy. You should be more than familiar with the procedure by now. Pray find a suitable position from which to keep watch while I take note. Yes, quite high, yet still markedly lower than the historical measurements taken near the end of the 6th astral era. Could the presence of a primal account for the difference, or is there something else? Something else. Don't wander off. Something else. Scion, come here. I need you. What? Is that Wilfred? Fear not, my friends. Help hath arrived. There you are, Myrokos. Corey and I were worried when you and your charge failed to return at the appointed hour. Gutted like a hawk, but not by one, no. These wounds were made with a blade. Doesn't look like he put up much of a fight, either. area mark on his sword or shield. I have heard nothing of any crystal grove operation in this area. What cause had Wilred to come? What should we do? Is Wilred dead? We'll see to the scholar's protection. I and the boys remain. Should return to the Rising Stones and Stones the antecedent will want to know what happened here. And so do I. Wilred's dead. He was my favorite crystal grave. Talk to people. I've never been this close to a oh god. Yeah, so buried in your box you're not used to life. Gods, what a waste. Pray leave matters here to us, Myrokos. You must return to the Rising Stones and inform the antecedent at once. We spoke a few times in the Rising Stones. He wasn't as experienced as some of the other braves, but gods, he had passion. Crystalline jail that held the dark divinity is in check. Were you able to ascertain what has become of it? Sundered binding stone. The stone may have been the only thing preventing the elder primal Odin's return to Eorzea, and now the stone is destroyed. Oh dear. Magical energy still remains in the stone, though its powers have grown dim. What's more, behold how the stone has been cleaved clear in twain by Odin's fell blade. there can be yes, there can be no doubt as to the identity of our unwelcome guest. And yet, it is almost curious. If the dark divinity rides free, why does he tarry in trap? Anyway, you are to be commended for your bravery, adventurer. Semi is preparing a report on this very matter as we speak. I would be most grateful if you would share your findings with her as well. Method. Our brother Galleon yet lives, thanks to you. As unwanted refugees in this land, we have little unless to offer by way of gratitude, but one day I swear to repay your kindness thrice over. Fine. I look forward to it. There's... Ah, there. Rude. So it is indeed as we feared. The seal of Earth's fount has been broken, and the dark divinity rides again. I must draft a report immediately. All you wanted to know about Odin, Simi would entrust you with it. Your assistance in the investigation has proven invaluable. Adventurer, you have our thanks. With your aid, I have finally managed to complete my report. A thorough survey of all eyewitness reports, along with the most credible theories regarding the Dark Divinity's presence in the shroud. I intend to deliver copies of the report to Brother O.F. Hesse and Lord Lewin myself. The Science, too, will no doubt be eager to learn of our findings. I would be most appreciative if you could deliver a copy to Urion J in my stead. My duties demand that I remain composed, but in all truth, I fear for the fate of our people. Should the time come that the Dark Divinity draws his blade against Gridania, promise me that we can... Hey, nope. I have... Yeah, I do have this one. If you like what you've seen at any point, please remember to give me a follow on Twitch so you're aware of when it goes live. If you're watching this on YouTube, give it a like, share, and subscribe. And let me know in the comments if there's any way I can make improvements on my stream in terms of what I do. Myrokos, I am most heartened by thy safe return. Wert thou able to cast light on the shadows that haunt the shroud? Odin report a list documenting all recent sightings of the elder primal Odin. So it is true. Having awakened from nigh eternal slumber, the dark divinity now rides free in the shroud. Whilst you were afield, I immersed myself in the scriptures. The more I scoured the words, the more I did realize that the writings draw heavily upon elegant historical chronicles. History is quite a fascinating beast, is it not? One nation's glory is another's suffering, one nation's great hero, another's most abhorrent villain. I mean not to speak in platitudes, only to say that there is never but a single side to any story, even a story that is presented as historical fact. To what end did the great hero of Alex seal Odin in a jail of crystal? What impels the dark divinity to ride once again? Cast thine light on the shadows of history, friend, that we might be delivered from the darkness. Wait, we can do more trials with, against primals? Okay. Well, I'm kind of needed back in the Rising Stones. So, I can get back to that later. Myrokos, you are returned, and you seem troubled. Did the role of escort chafe so? A little bit, but Wilred's dead. That's kind of the big thing. Wilred dead? Mayhap murdered? By the 12, how can that be? I will send word to Alphino at once. He will want to conduct a full investigation. And send word to Wilred's family. Gods, he was just a boy. Who would do this, and why? A time to every purpose. While others look forward to the impending royal banquet, Minfilia cannot help but look to the past. Though recent events weigh heavily on our minds, we must needs set them aside for now. We are come to a defining moment in Eorzean history. The grand commemoration of our joint defense of Ishgard, the first time in 15 long years that our people have stood side by side with our neighbors to the north and north to fight in common cause. This may mark the true rebirth of the Eorzean Alliance. Failing that, it should, at the very least, serve to bring our nations closer together. We have every reason to raise our voices in celebration, do we not? We have bested Dravanians and Ascians both. Against desperate odds we have fought and won. But the primals still plague us. The Empire still plots our subjugation, and our triumphs, remarkable though they are, were bought at a terrible price. Brave adventurers and allies broken on the steps of faith, and before our eyes, in this very room, our dear friend Moonbreeder. This is the victory we have wrought, and it is as bitter ashes in my mouth. As bitter ashes in my mouth. I would sooner stay here and invite those with more appetite to enjoy the feast in my stead. Alas, it is a royal banquet, and all of our allies will be in attendance. It is our duty to present a united front, that we might serve as a beacon of hope to all. It seems I have no choice but to take my own advice. I instructed the others to meet us in Ul'dah, that we might make our grand entrance together. Unfortunately, I had to settle for leaving Tatara and Lamine a note. If they do not return quickly, they will have to settle for whatever leftovers I can smuggle out of the fragrant dream. Real. Off to the big soiree, Myrokos. Raise a glass for me, eh? Or not? You don't look best pleased, lad. Something on your mind? Yeah, I found Wilred. He's dead. By the Navigator. Wilred's dead? God damn it. They must know they've been, rumbled. I mean, sought it. 'Tis past time we had this talk. After our last conversation, I got to thinking about where certain funds were coming from, so I had to dig around on the quiet, and sure enough, I found it. Seems a fair bit of coin made its way into the Braves' coffers, courtesy of a Dodo consortium. A daft name for a business if ever I heard one, which is what first gave me an inkling that something weren't right. So I went through the ledgers again and found another half-dozen donations from organizations with stupid, bloody names. Didn't take long to find the common thread. All were owned by the Mirage Trust. Oh, I'll give the bastard credit. He showed us up for the amateurs we are. Sure to call in one of his businesses the bloody bribery consortium. I don't know what more he could have done to mock our rules on financial contributions. The gods only know how many men of the first and third are taken to Legi's coin, but now we know as some of them are, I'd wager me right eye, they're the ones what did for Wilred. Yeah. The earnest young fool had taken to asking the wrong kind of questions. Bound to attract attention, he was. Should have seen it at the time, but I didn't. God's damn me. Still, I don't see what Teleji hopes to accomplish. He hid his scheme with all the care of a drunk piss into the wind. Now he's cleverer than this, so we need to be clever too. That's the only way we'll ever repay this debt of blood. We'll purge every last one of them traitorous bastards from our ranks. On that you have me word. And Myrokos, mind yourself when you're in Ul'dah. We're heading into a storm. I can smell it. The kind what'll sweep a man overboard and drag him under before he knows it. Sorry. If you'll excuse me, if you need to go for a tissue, my nose is getting a little stuffy. If you need to get up and stretch your legs, do so. It's been 2.25 hours. It's not healthy to remain seated for so long. And I'm back. So now we have to go. Everybody is gone. It's just me. Wait, did I just see entrance and exit at the... I am. That's an interesting little glitch. Well... Go to Minfilia on the roll. If I did not know better, I should think our bard had run afoul of another jilted lover. Uh-oh. Tancred doesn't look happy. Is that? No, just my imagination. It's looking over there. Oh, pay no attention to me. 'Tis a habit from my misspent youth, looking over my shoulder from time to time. And yet he is looking out, and doesn't look like there's anyone down there. And somehow I doubt the two over there he's looking at. It's a banquet, so there will definitely be food, but there will also be... But will there also be dancing? And if there is, will it be before or after the food? Dancing on a full stomach is no fun, but neither is being hungry. What to do? Oh my goodness, Ida. You're overthinking things. I do hope Ida is not under the impression that we are here to make merry. We are ostensibly the antecedents' escorts, after all. Oh dear. So I guess there's nothing for it. Let's just keep going. We have been waiting for you, Myrokos. The celebration is due to begin shortly. I had hoped that we might make our introductions together, but Mistress Momodi just sent word that you are needed at the quicksand. Of course I am. Come, but not gone. A hero must go wherever he is needed, and according to Minfilia, you are needed elsewhere. We will go on ahead, Myrokos. Pray join us once matters at the quicksand are resolved. Give my regards to Momodi, and let her know that I will call upon her anon. Somehow I doubt Lalafels are his type. I appreciate you dropping in on such short notice, Myrokos. I know you've got places to be, so I won't waste your time. You're friends with you're friends with a crystal brave by the name of Alianne, aren't you? Former adventurer, come to think of it. I'm pretty sure you recruited her yourself. Well, anyway, she came around for a meal not long ago, and before she left, she asked me to give you a message. Said if the others ended up dragging you to the feast, I was to see you got it before you made your grand entrance. Meet me at the station west of the coffin. There's something I must show you. A short message, I'll grant you, but she thought long and hard before picking those words. Barely touched her food, too. Under other circumstances, I'd have thought those signs of a troubled heart, but something tells me she ain't planning to confess her undying love. Best not keep Alianne waiting. Or your friends at the feast, for that matter. Okay, so off to see what Alianne needs of us. Of course it's foggy. And nighttime as well. As you stand upon the platform, your thoughts begin to wander, and all too soon the ghosts of comrades lost and enemies slain begin to file by your mind's eye in solemn procession. Clearing your head, you scan the horizon but see no signs of Alianne. Straining your ears to listen, you hear the chatter of Kikun and the buzzing of syraphids, but no approaching footfall. Sighing, you bow your head, only to notice a vial lying at your feet. Wait, pick up the clouded vial. Myrokos, is that you? What brings you out this way? Yeah, Allianne said she wanted to speak with me. Lieutenant Allianne? Why, no, I haven't seen her about. Had she come this way, I guarantee we would have crossed paths. I must have passed this spot a dozen times. We're to patrol the city's environs on account of the royal banquet. Captain's orders, you understand? Speaking of which, isn't it about to begin? Yeah, it is. You should be with the other honored guests. I know, but mysterious anonymous messages and a dead body tend to call my attention to other things. Enjoying your well-deserved respite. Pray return to Ul'dah, Myrokos. If I chance to meet the lieutenant, I will tell her you were here. What is he up to? Big Melon Slapper, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
O Sultan Tree, hallowed spirit of my line.
Oh dear. She's having a crisis of faith again.
Through my weakness, the glorious house of Ul has all but disappeared beneath the sands. For want of the strength to raise it up again, it were better that it fall. Forgive me, but I know not what else to do.
I reckoned you'd head straight to the feast after meeting with Allianne. What's the matter? No appetite? Allianne wasn't there, and there was this mysterious vial. Instead. Clouded vial. This tiny glass container appears to have been used before, but to contain what? Pray tell. So she wasn't there, but this was, eh? Let's see. Looks to me like an alchemist's vial, but That I can't say. Might be best if you hold on to it for safekeeping, though. Any road, no use worrying about Allie-Ann. I'm sure she'll turn up before too long, and when she does, we'll soon find out what this was all in aid of. Besides, you've got more important things to think about. The parting glass. Judging by Mimodi's grin, your star could not rise any higher. Would you believe that while you were away, another message arrived for you? Well, one did. Gee, I'm a popular person. One delivered by the Sultana's handmaiden, no less. It seems Her Grace desires a private audience. Her handmaiden will meet you on the royal promenade and escort you to the Sultana's chambers. So what are you waiting for? Go on then. Go!
You needn't trouble yourself so. Your Grace is most kind, but it is no trouble to me, rather an honor. If your Grace is ready, I shall summon the Warrior of Light.
Oh, look at it. It's a nice party, lots of food, people talking. Ah, Sir Eric and Lucia.
Everyone looks to be in high spirits.
With good cause.
A common victory may serve to unite even the most unlikely of allies. You've brought us one step closer to a united Eorzea.
Your modesty knows no bounds, antecedent. Were it not for your efforts, Sir Emmerich would never have become such a steadfast ally. When he convinces his countrymen to rejoin the Alliance, we shall all reap the benefits, military and economic. I tell you, we are on the cusp of a new era of unity and prosperity. Territorial disputes are all that divide us now. But I have faith that we will find an amicable solution in time. And failing that, I'll have my trusty Warrior of Light box the ears of all concerned. Speaking of whom...
Oh, as if I'm his Warrior of Light. Like he owns me. The arrogance
He will be
of
joining
this
us shortly. A matter at the quicksand required his attention, but it did not sound serious.
I don't know about you, but if the Sultana summoned me for a private meeting, I'd be practicing my curtsy on the royal promenade by now. Out! Well, okay then, Mimodi. Eesh. Okay, I'm going. What business would Her Grace have with the likes of me? I've been summoned for a private audience. I'm needed. And beyond that, I don't know. Greetings, sir. The banquet began mere moments ago. I would be honored to show you in, but I believe the Sultana's handmaiden has an urgent matter to discuss with you. My apologies, sir. Thank you for coming, sir. Her Grace is most eager to speak with you. If you require a moment to compose yourself before your audience, you may have it. Or if you are ready, it would be my honor to escort you to Her Grace's chambers forthwith. Upon proceeding to the Sultana's bedchamber, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Are we ready for this? I don't know if I'm ready for this. I've still got crafting to work on. I just started a couple of other jobs that I need to get the handle of. Plus, apparently, the primals have been active, even though they've been quiet. Apparently, they've been active of late. I don't know. Okay, I guess we'll just have to deal with this now, sadly.
Enter. Your Grace, your guest has arrived. Pray, come in and take your ease.
"'Tis well that the steps of faith held against the Horde.
And what of the city proper?
We sustained some few losses, but the heart of our nation yet beats with vigor. I am not certain I could say the same had we not received your most generous aid.
An attack on Ishgard is an attack on the realm. We stand together or fall divided.
Such noble words after the fact.
I had hoped to speak in the presence of Her Grace, but it seems she has been delayed. That being the case, now would seem as good a time as any. Honored friends, pray allow me to convey Ishgard's warmest gratitude for your part in the defense of our lands. 'Tis upon the success of this very alliance that my recommendation to throw open the gates of judgment shall be founded. With the blessing of the Archbishop, it is my hope that Ishgard will soon be reunited with her long-estranged sister nations, and that Eorzea shall once more be as one.
Well, that's nice. We really are working towards a more united Eorzea. Stola's not clapping.
Very well.
Is aught amiss?
Nothing to worry about. I shall return anon. You wished a word, Yu Hase?
That's not ominous at all.
You may go. Your
We're
Grace.
having wine.
You must be curious as to the reason for this private audience. The matter I would discuss, however, will soon make apparent the need for discretion. I intend to abdicate the throne and dissolve the monarchy.
That's not a wise move.
You have seen for yourself the storm of turmoil that howls through our streets. The government fails in its responsibilities, and my subjects suffer the consequences of our incompetence. But I will see them suffer no longer. The victory feast shall provide the stage on which I declare the dissolution of the Sultanate.
Oh no, no. That's not a good idea.
'Tis mine intent that the ruling class of our golden city should take its place beside the common man in a fair and equitable republic. No more shall this nation bow to the whims of a privileged few.
Okay, you're not, Sultana, Your Grace, you're not thinking this through. What's going to happen is you will dissolve the in the Sultanate, you will give up your power, then the Syndicate and the monetarists will take over the Syndicate, or what's left of it, and then you'll have a republic for maybe, if you're lucky, 5 minutes before they just, pull a Holy Roman Empire and have an electoral college that only elects monetarists. And you're making things worse. This is not good.
Yet, that which I propose will entail the tearing up of this city's very foundations. And even Roban, with all his strength and influence, will be hard-pressed to keep his footing on such treacherous ground.
And that's why you shouldn't dissolve the Sultanate.
Thus would I ask you to lend him a steadying hand.
Well, duh, that's why I joined the Immortal Flames.
You who have endured the wrath of innumerable foes are the one hero in whom I can place my trust. Will you do this thing for me?
Sure, yeah. I joined the Immortal Flames because Roban's awesome. Of course I'd help him.
I am truly grateful. More grateful than I can well express. How much we have both changed since that day we met beneath the Sultan tree. And the days ahead promise to change us further still. I hope that we will recognize ourselves when all of this is over.
Uh-oh. Oh no, it was poisoned. Oh no.
Your Grace! Her Grace, the Sultana, is dead.
Did you check her pulse? You're just staring at her. So how did you know that she's dead? Dead. She could be asleep. She could be alive, but otherwise unconscious.
Poison in her wine?
And how did you know about the prospect of poison?
You did this!
Nope, not me. Check with the handmaiden.
Spare us your denials! I see no other suspects, and the room has but the one entrance.
The handmaiden poured the wine. You might want to check with her.
I hereby accuse you of regicide! Men, arrest this viper!
I'm being framed. And also, why are the brass blades here? Where is the Sultan Swan? You'd think the Sultan Sworn would be here and not the brass blades.
Sir, barring a few exceptions, we have detained all those with allegiance to the Scions. The Rising Stones is also under our control.
And what do you hope to achieve with this mutiny?
Why, that which we have striven for all along, Commander. The salvation of Eorzea.
He does not want the salvation of Eorzea. He just wants Gil lining his pockets.
What is the meaning of this?
Knights from the homeland. This cannot bode well.
Lord Commander, we have received an urgent message from the Holy See. I am grieved to report that your serpentine foes have resumed their assault. Needless to say, your presence is urgently required. These knights have come to bear you swiftly home to Ishgard.
Then why are the knights not delivering the news that what? Don't go with him. It's a trap.
A surprise attack?
We've had no such word from our men, and the timing is most fortuitous to catch us away from the city.
Yeah, this doesn't smell right.
Most fortuitous indeed.
Lord Commander, we must away!
You have been a most gracious host. I hope that I might one day return the favor.
Ooh. So Myrokos not pleased.
Come, Lucia.
Yeah, where are the Sultan sworn? Other than on the royal. Ooh. Tancred found a cat girl.
Whatever is going on in there? Ah, the ever-dutiful brass blades. I must apologize, but my dance card is rather full. Another time, perhaps?
Thancred, of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. You stand accused of committing acts of espionage in service to the Garlean Empire.
Espionage? What in the seven hells are you talking about? Ah. If you're referring to that business with the Ultima weapon, then you must understand, I wasn't myself.
Under interrogation, an Imperial prisoner revealed your involvement in numerous dealings with the enemy. We've also been investigating reports that you are a practitioner of forbidden arts.
What forbidden arts? This seems highly suspicious that this is coming up now.
You'd best come along with us.
Bearing steel in the royal palace? Rude.
You invite me to your party and now you want me to leave? I do so detest receiving mixed signals. Come then. I believe I've lost my appetite for this farce of a celebration.
You go too far, Lord Adeleji. By what right do you march armed soldiers into a royal banquet and eject state visitors without her grace's consent? You treat the brass blades as your personal army and show contempt for the throne with your every act. Leave us, now.
Is that an order, General? Mayhap you have mistaken me for one of your flames. You will find I am not so slavishly obedient. As you lecture me on personal armies.
Well, the Immortal Flames aren't a personal army, they're the ultimate army of the Sultanate of Ul'dah.
As for your outrageous claim that I have shown contempt for the throne, let all here observe that it was not I who feasted while an assassin removed its occupant. I expect this is your idea of defending the nation, is it? This and diluting our forces through these distractions in Cartano and Kurthis. I do begin to see how the ranks of the Immortal Flames came to be riddled with Garlean sympathizers. You are plainly unfit for command.
Wait, goddamn you. Your words make no sense. What assassin?
This is where I come.
You mean to say you don't know? We caught the vaunted champion of the Scions in her Grace's private chambers, not moments after the deed was done.
And it was curious that you were standing outside the door to her private chambers, and the Sultan Swan permitted you to be there.
No! No, this cannot be!
Save your breath. You will need it to plead your case. You and your entire order are to be tried for this atrocity. Bring in the prisoner!
This man stands accused of poisoning Her Royal Majesty Nanamo Ul Namo, and as suspected accessories to the crime, all members of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn will be detained for questioning.
Oh, ill bird, you inbred. Yeah.
This is madness!
What a pity. Who'd have thought your tale would end like this?
Should you demand further proof, a vial with traces of the substance used to poison Her Grace was found upon the assassin's person.
How very convenient.
You would speak of convenience? Who persuaded Her Grace to host this celebration? A diversion which presented you and your confederates ample opportunity to commit the crime, and a crowd within which to fade from view. A more convenient occasion I could scarcely imagine.
I think Her Grace chose to host the celebration. We had nothing to do with that. And we were invited.
How dare you! After all we have done for Ul'dah!
Hold your tongue, witch! I'll not be ensorcelled! I know all about the dark gift that you and your disciples wield.
That's not how the echo works.
Oh, yes. I've observed how you worked upon the minds of the Alliance leaders, bending them to your will.
This guy's insane.
And what of your cordial relationship with Sir Emmerich? For years, Ishgard abjured all contact with the outside world, and now the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights treats you with the familiarity of a childhood friend.
Sir Emmerich and Minfilia have never once met. All of his dealings with the Scions have been with me, not her.
I'll tell you what I think. I think this desperate defense of Ishgard was but a ruse to deceive us into dividing our forces.
Oh.
Your next move will be to charm your Kurthan allies into invading our lands!
What allies in Kurthis?
Now that is truly ridiculous!
would you even think of this stuff?
She cannot be dead. Stand aside, Ilbert. I want to see the Sultana.
Spare yourself the pain, brother. I saw her with my own eyes.
Really? It was the brass blades who arrested me, so...
For a mercy, the poison took her swiftly. Her handmaiden can attest to that.
Yeah, and she can attest that I did not poison the wine in any way. The wine could have been poisoned, a week ago, and then the vial just conveniently left out in the open.
This cannot be. Nanamo. No!
Plainly, the Royalists can no longer be relied upon to keep our nation safe. And so it falls to the monitorists of the Syndicate to govern Uldar. But should you wish to help us, General, we would be more than happy to entrust the task of planning Her Grace's funeral to you. It seems only right that you should bury your precious Sultana, and we will be glad to be rid of that burden.
I'll bet you will. You more than any man.
Whatever do you mean?
I mean you had her killed, you black-hearted bastard!
That would line up with his intention.
What rot! Though I did have sufficient motive, 'tis true. That young lady caused me no end of grief. She always was a most unwilling puppet. I dare say Her Grace was grateful that someone thought to cut her strings.
He just confessed. He just confessed to desiring and then conveniently, I guess, plotting with all of this going on to getting rid of the Sultan.
You would mock her, then mock her from hell!
What?
Yes! And also, that's what a dead body looks like. It's curious that the Sultana's eyes were closed the whole time as if she were asleep.
Have you lost your mind, General? It is forbidden to draw steel in the royal chambers, much less slaughter our fellow Syndicate members. You're one of them. You've been in league with the Scions all along.
You're next, you scheming bastard!
Oh, inbred. You...
Oh, Rabong!
7 hells!
Admiral, we must leave.
Ah!
How unlike you, old friend. I did not expect to take your arm so easily.
Take the Scions into custody. They have conspired to commit regicide. And arrest this traitor as well.
Ilbert, I hope you choke on their coin.
'Tis better than the dirt I've supped on these long years. We can't all abandon Alamigo and become great war heroes as you have. You are not the man you once were, Raban. Since that girl strapped the yoke around your neck, you've become docile. She took the mad bull and cut off his balls, and a bull that cannot rot is fit for naught but slaughter. Shall I tell you who really killed your precious Sultana? It was me.
You inbred bastard.
You die! I never doubted you, not for a moment. But there is... Flee this place. Clear your names. Find out who is behind this plot. It is the only way. Now go!
Ah, there you are.
Thancred, where have you been?
Busy dealing with some brass blades.
Avoiding the fumbling advances of some very persistent admirers. When I realized the celebrations had turned sour, it seemed prudent to slip away and take stock of the situation. Twould appear that much of the city is already under tight guard. It occurs to me that expanding the Brass Blade's authority may not have been such a wonderful idea after all.
The success of this plan was contingent upon those thugs having the run of the place. Just how long has this scheme been in motion?
The careful preparations, the maneuvering of forces. I am inclined to agree with the General's insistence that a deeper plot exists here.
So, would I be right in thinking we now have an excuse to pummel as many brass blades as we like?
Unless you plan on pummeling them all, I'm not sure that will greatly aid our cause.
The Sultana's assassination was but one part of the scheme. We too were its targets. And though we did not share poor Nanamo's fate, we are yet hobbled by the charges laid at our door. Where now might we seek refuge?
Where indeed we may safely assume that our foe is thought to have the rising stones watched.
Forgive me for stating the obvious, but our choice of destination will matter little if we cannot secure an escape route out of Ulda. Happily, I believe I can provide one. Papashan once told me about the passages hidden in the walls of the palace. If I recall correctly, the fireplace in Nanamo's chambers conceals the entrance to a tunnel. It should lead outside the city and allow us to avoid any messy confrontations.
The rest of you, go on ahead. I'll handle this lot.
By yourself? I suppose I shall just have to join you.
Crystal Braves too, huh? Now this should be interesting.
Ida! Papalimo!
We will hold our pursuers here. Hurry, now! Find this tunnel of Thancreds.
Minfilia, we cannot linger!
She was working for Lolo Rito.
Now look what you've done.
Ida, are you all right? There are just too many of them.
I'm fine. I could do this all day. How about you?
Nearing the end of my tether.
Just let it ride.
This is so stupid. We're the scions of the Seventh Dawn. The ones who stand between this realm and the evil that's trying to destroy it.
And if you think we'll leave the stewardship of Eorzea to the likes of your masters, then you're sorely mistaken.
Sorry I dragged you into this, Papalimo.
'Tis hardly the first time, and I'll be damned if it will be the last. Let them have it, Ida!
was hoping you'd say that.
Was that mutually assured destruction?
I never knew such a watercourse existed beneath Uldar.
The architecture is of the Sildine style, if I'm not mistaken. The ancients plainly foresaw the need for a ready means of escape.
This way!
Well, that didn't take long. It seems these tunnels were not as secret as I'd hoped.
You two, go on ahead. Thancred and I will deal with this.
What do you mean to do?
Only that which is required to ensure that the dawn's light survive to brighten the morrow.
Fear not, antecedent. You haven't seen the last of these fair features.
My friends.
Leave us!
What is the plan, milady? Shall I take the dozen on the left and you the dozen on the right? The odds are not exactly stacked in our favor.
Numbers will count for little when I bring the tunnel down upon their heads. Though I cannot say I relish the thought of being entombed with you for all eternity.
You wound me. I will have you know that many a maid would kill for the chance to spend forever at my side. Now, may I have the last dance? Well, this is going splendidly. Now would be a good time, milady!
Tis done. Forgive me, Mitra.
Who's Mitra?
Farewell, Nymphalia.
Heidelin, she speaks to me.
Finally. But what?
No.
What's wrong?
I must remain behind, but you cannot stay with me.
What?
Please, you must go on. You are the warrior of light. You are hope for the Scions and for all the realm. As long as your flame continues to burn, the light of the dawn may ever be relit. You must escape and save Eorzea from those who would plunge it into darkness. "'Tis the only way.
I am glad to see you safe, my friend. What of the others?
So only the Redditor?
Damn that man!
Of all the people...
Taleji played me for a fool! I thought the Crystal Brave's mine till the very moment I felt the blade at my back.
There will be ample time for soul-searching later. For now, we must put some arms between us and Ul'dah.
Well, would you look who it is? Need a ride? I doubt it'll be half as exciting as the last trip we took. Not if I have anything to say about it anyway.
Oh, hey, it's Brand.
Let's not dawdle, eh? All aboard! I was stocking up on supplies over in Vesper Bay, you see, when your sister come up and begged a favour. Said her brother was having some trouble down in Ul'dah, and likely needed a helping hand getting away. Thinking them ruins would make a fine hiding place, I decided to try there first. And lo and behold, there you were! Aye, and judging by them soldiers as were pouring out of the city, I arrived not a moment too soon. Ha! Must have been fate that we happened to find you there, though, eh?
I had thought to look out for Alize, but 'twould appear she was the one watching over me. I've made such a mess of things.
Damn right you have.
And who might you be, young sir?
Pippin Taropin, Vice Marshal of the Immortal Flames. I had been on the Alamegan front these past few moons, but an urgent communication called me back to Uldar. Scarce had my boots touched the cobbles, though, when the streets erupted with cries of assassination. I immediately went in search of answers, and came across Master Alfino here. Needless to say, I did not think his imprisonment justified. The blame plainly lies with the Monitarists. Their greed and corruption are well known to me, but for them to take advantage of the situation with such alacrity...
Was that Pippin, you said? Ain't that the name of General Alden's lad?
Yes, I am his son. Adopted, of course. 'Twas only as we were leaving Uldar that I learned of father's fate. Once I have seen you a safe distance away, I mean to return to the city and extricate him from this madness.
Then you needn't travel no further than Blackbrush. Our fugitives have a friend waiting for them there.
I dreamed of bringing about Eorzea's salvation, but in the end...
You had your head in the clouds and weren't paying attention.
'Twas I who needed saving.
This is what you get when you don't... When you dream big, but you don't actually think about what you're doing, you idiot. Them soldiers will keep searching for a while. Yet, reckon we'll take the carriage back towards Uldar and get the lay of the land. Maybe provide a distraction if need be. You three wait here. Help will be along shortly. Stay strong, friends. The real fight's to come. Alright, let's go. How could I have been so blind? Well, you weren't even paying attention to begin with, so... That's a start. The most unassuming folk can prove to be our greatest allies. That fellow was but a passing merchant, yet he lent us aid without a moment's hesitation, or any hint of concern for his own safety. Though I can well imagine how a man could feel inspired to risk all in your presence. Father spoke often of you, Myrokos, and long have I looked forward to our first meeting. Needless to say, this is not at all how I envisioned. Master Alphen, you must not give in to despair. That would only play into our enemy's hands. So long as you and Myrokos are free, we may still set things right. Forgive me, Marshal Taropin, but I'll let him mope. He is responsible for all of us. Alphino, my boy, sorry to keep you waiting. Oh, it's Sid! Sid? What are you doing here? Pulling you out of the fire as usual. Your merchant friend told me everything. Truly, then he is no merchant, but an angel in peddler's clothing. But tell us, how do you intend to bear our friends to safety? I hid the Enterprise, but a short distance away. All I need is a destination. We must find a place beyond the reach of both the Monetarists and the Crystal Braves. Perthus. Ishgard will not suffer the intrusion of foreign forces in their territory. That settles it. With me, everyone. Not I fear. I must remain here. I dare not abandon Noldad to the monetarists and their cronies. You may be certain that they will seek to defame you both here and in the other city-states, but know that I shall do my utmost to thwart every effort. Frankly, I do not expect to be it to be much of a challenge. The small folk will not turn so easily on the Warrior of Light and his allies, no matter what the monetarists claim. Marshal Tarvin, I know not what to say. Then say nothing. Your words have already done nothing. Now that father would labor to believe. But enough talk. You must go, Master Alphino. Your airship awaits. Up. There's no rest for the righteous. Aye, Pippin. Not the fool of a Took, by the way. This is a good Pippin. Thanks, We should make for Camp Dragonhead and speak with old Horshaphon. Mayhap he will know what to do. Can't believe I'm stuck with the Redditor. Lord Horshaphon has agreed to grant us succor. He says that we will be safe here. And yet you don't sound too sure. Master Alphino told me your tale, Myrokos. It warms my heart that you should turn to me before all others, and I shall endeavor to deserve your trust. Alas, the situation here has grown more complicated in your absence. 'Twould be best if I explained in full. Before the dawn, in times of trouble, there are few things more precious than unconditional support.
There has been word from the capital. Ishgard has weathered another assault, and 'tis said several wyverns broke through into the city proper.
Wyverns? Yikes.
The Temple Knights succeeded in slaying the beasts, but the intrusion prompted orders to further strengthen the guard and to place the city under a perpetual state of alert. How keenly we feel the loss of our wards at the gates of judgment. Yet we must not bemoan our misfortune. Sir Emmerich is safely returned from Ul'dah, and once more leads the defense of Ishgard.
Well, that's good.
As for the matter of your asylum, I am afraid no progress will be made until the threat to our nation is diminished. But do not despair. You are not without allies. You are more than welcome to shelter here for as long as you wish. Pray, think of it as a new headquarters of sorts. The Falling Snows, or some such.
That's a good name. The Falling Snows.
All frivolity aside, any who come here in search of you will receive no aid from House Forton. For once, the Ishgardian reputation for inhospitality shall work in our favor. Agents of Ul'dah will find their every inquiry dismissed, and their every request for entry rebuffed, until such time as their masters have acknowledged your innocence. You once fought to preserve the honor of my dear friend. 'Tis a blessing that I may now repay that debt in kind. But let us dwell no more on this. Pray, join the rest of your companions.
The rest? I thought it was just
'Tis bitterly
us.
cold this day. I suspect there are those who might welcome the warmth your presence brings.
The intercessory awaits, Myrokos. Pray do not keep your companions in suspense. I am certain their hearts will soar at the sight of you. Who managed to escape, and what of those who did not? No. The Redditor was responsible for the entire incident. Greetings, sir. Shall I show you inside? Upon proceeding to the intercessory, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Might as well. Alphino, Myrokos, is it really you? Well, it's me, yes. Him, unfortunately, so. I'm so happy that you are. I tried contacting Minfilia and the others, but no one would respond. And then the Crystal Braves, our own people, turned on us in the marketplace. Flamine told me to run, and so I did. I ran and I ran until my lungs burned and my feet ached. But I lost my way, and then... Fortunately, I had observed some of the Crystal Braves behaving suspiciously beforehand. Ah, yes, my mask. It was lost in the struggle. Pretty, isn't she? Anyway, after Yugiri found me, we traveled to Vesper Bay and met up with Urionje. When we told him what had happened, he used his magics to weave a glamour around the waking sands. From the outside, our old headquarters now looks like an abandoned storehouse. The transformation didn't take long either. Apparently, Urianger started making preparations after the Imperial attack, just in case the Empire ever chose to pay us another visit. Good thinking, eh? Sorry, where was I? Oh yes. So we waited there at the Waking Sands, hoping others would come. But no one else did. My people are searching for the other scions, even as we speak. But we have met with no success as yet. I had hoped that you might be able to suggest further places to look. But you should know, the Rising Stones did not share in the Waking Sands' good fortune. Only Crystal Braves await you there. Be that as it may, we yet have cause to hope, do we not? If the two of you escaped, it is not impossible that the others could have done so as well. You may have been forsaken by men and women, believed true, but rest assured that the people of Doma yet stand with you. We welcome this opportunity to repay our debts, and shall continue our efforts to locate the others and see the scions restored to their rightful place of honor.
"'Tis all my doing."
Yep, it is. It's all your fault.
I believed myself the only one who truly understood Eorzea's woes. And look what that arrogance has wrought.
Fool, you didn't understand anything.
I gave commands, influenced governments with my certainty. I treated the Crystal Braves and even the Scions themselves as pawns in my great scheme to save the realm.
All true.
But in my headlong rush into imagined glory, I paid no heed to the ground upon which I trod.
Truth. And for that, we've all paid the price.
The salvation of Eorzea. What was it that I hoped to achieve? Did I believe that I could rid the realm of every danger and difficulty? That I could defeat the Empire and the Ascians, and find homes for every refugee?
Ironically, yes, I think he did. And he bit off more than he could chew.
Oh, yes. I was so very clever. Become a guardian of Eorzea, I implored, and sat back to watch my perfect army cleanse the land of chaos. It was all but a means to feed my own vanity.
Yep.
Only when all is lost do I finally realize the truth.
Typically that happens with most people like you.
Oh, Alphino.
So, Master Alphino, are you content to remain a broken blade? Is there no flame hot enough to reforge you? What of the fine companions who yet stand at your side? I dare say the fires of their determination will soon have you slicing the air again with your customary wit.
I hardly deserve such friendship. And besides, where are we to go?
Alphino, if I may? Should this place not serve our purpose, then we shall go to Ishgard. Minfilia told me many times, as long as we stand fast against despair, the beacon of hope will never be lost to sight. Be it in the snow or in the clouds, we few will see that the dawn's light shines again.
You are right, Tataru. Thank you. And thank you for your kind words, Lord Orchefon. 'Tis true that Eorzea yet has her guardians. The Scions have achieved much, and 'twould be remiss of me to discard it all in a fit of self-pity. Let us then resume our journey, together, one step at a time.
All has been arranged as you desired, my lord.
Okay, the Assassins, what do they want? Labrianes is known. The ardor was not his to invoke. His demise was of his own making. Nevertheless, it concerns me. They have extinguished that which should rightly be eternal. Mayhap he was not wholly mistaken. Greater haste may be warranted. We are of one mind. The northern lands, then. The earth is fertile, and the seeds well sown. By my will, they shall reap salvation unto any the world, salvation unlike any the world has known. By his will. By his will. I have answered thy summons, emissary. Speak and make thine intent known. Even Oriange is turning against us. I would speak of fate, Archon. Yours, mine. The fate of this very star.
Thou thinkest sanctuary lieth beyond. Delusion, despair, death. Thou shalt find naught else here.
To preserve the dawn's light, the heroes journeyed north. Their hearts filled with hope and eyes fixed heavensward. Okay, and with that, we have completed A Realm Reborn MSQ. And at that note, it is now nearly 4 hours, and I think I'll call it a stream. So, if you liked what you saw, and you're watching this on YouTube, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you liked and what I can improve on doing. In the comments, if you want to watch this live, click the link for Twitch in the description. Come over and give me a follow on Twitch so that you're apprised of when I go live. Make certain you hit the bell so that you have notifications on. And I will see you anon, friends.